this was a smudgy race, as Jerry always liked to say, and your team, and I assume he means you specifically, do well tuning in this environment.
Yeah, we in the past, the high water grain, really hot racetracks, we tend to thrive in those environments, and we've deliberately worked on doing better in some of the colder climates, so we can kind of start the season off with a little bit more success than we had in the past. But yeah, I enjoy these environments, and I think our strategy works well in them. But at the same time, in countdown races like Reading, it's typically not hot, and it's typically not real wet outside. Well, it may be wet because Reading rains.
Yeah. Well, when they moved the race, and it was good last year.
Yeah,
right?
humidity. Humidity is typically not a hot, humid race like you have here in Indianapolis or in the South.
Yeah.
Or Dallas. So it's a countdown race, and it's really important for us to be a little bit more diverse in what we do.
Right. I mean, Ellie had some good laps in qualifying or whatever, but it was like the headlines were all either Hector Arana Jr., Matt Smith, Eddie Krawick. I mean, we saw #1 qualifier change hands 3 times, and all 3 times it was a V twin. It was there was never a Suzuki that seemed to be in the mix. And then come race day, you all race well and win the race.
I think on Sunday, when I look at these runs, I'm looking at how we can put together. We're going 85s. Okay, how do we go in 84 or in 83? And I can see 100th here. I can see 5,000 here. We can see those kind of things. So from the outside looking in, sometimes you don't always get the full story. You don't always see what we see and understand what we understand. So
which is why we do these interviews.
But Ellie's bike had the potential to go to. It had a little bit more potential, but he got everything out of the motorcycle that we gave him. So he's just done an awesome job with this program, and it's been a lot of fun working with them. Sunday was a good day for us. Moving into Saturday, we have a plan on Saturday on how we're going to navigate our way through eliminations. The weather was changing a little bit Saturday, but the cloud cover kind of coming in and out, and then the track prep between the second round and the third round of eliminations to scrape and drag between the second and third round definitely kind of spruced the track up a little bit and gave it somewhat of a facelift. And we were really aggressive early on some of those runs. Don't have much weather here, and we were kind of getting after it. And in the second round of eliminations, it spun a little bit, and then going into the third round, we did some track prep, and so we kind of prepared for that, took that into equation, what decisions we're making. And then we were fortunate enough to win the third round, and then we knew the Harleys were going to, typically when we race the Harleys by the 4th round of eliminations, they've got enough information and we've got enough information about the day. If there's the possibility to go a little bit faster, we're both going to be able to do that. They're really, really sharp about that, and they've got a lot of guys over there working on this stuff. So that know the equipment very, very well. So we never underestimate them, and we knew what we had to do. Tim Miranda with Mr. Race Oil helps us out a ton, and we've got different solutions for different environments, and we were able to get away with a few things here with our oil, and they provide us our horsepower. I mean, Vance and Hines gives us the engines we use here at these racetracks. I mean, they give us enough power to compete with them, and in this situation, win.
Right.
So it's they've done just a really great job on both fronts.
Right.
They're extremely competitive, and we work hand in hand with Eddie, day in and day out, and he's very involved with the Suzuki program. It's I don't know all of his responsibilities over there, but I know this is one of his babies, and they do a good job taking care of this class. You
mentioned the oil. Is there a trade-off? I assume there's a trade-off where if you want to go for the highest performance given a particular situation, you might not. You sacrifice some durability. Is that the case, or is it just advanced beyond a point where that's no longer a trade-off?
Tim's Tim's really, really sharp with motor oil. There hasn't been a problem that we've had yet that he hasn't been able to solve. The clutch is always changing. There's nothing the same about it because parts wear. So as parts wear, you have to replace them with other parts. And other parts don't behave the same way as the previous ones do because they're from different batches or they're new. And so this is something that's always evolving, always moving. But in this situation, you know, we were making changes to a clutch that was responding in the exact opposite way we were asking it to behave, and so at that point we made some pretty drastic. We just
changed the whole clutch system.
We made some big changes at that point, and that was late in qualifying. And the bottom line is Jerry's bike made good mile an hour, and it ran good mile an hour, which tells us that we're making power. We're just not managing it as well as we did Ellie's bike. And so Ellie's bike, we made a good power, but we also managed it very well. So you see Jerry's 60 foots are much different than Ellie's. You know, and Jerry's 330s and 8th miles are much different than Ellie's. So we had a personnel change here. Parker's going to work for UPS. So Freddie Camarena come to help us out a little bit. And he's a driver, and so, you know, man, he's over there. I said, Fred, you got to get these plugs out of the motor. And he's like, Tim, the engine's hot. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think it was like a record just swiping off the needle swiping off the record. Everybody looked at him like
I think he'd grown a third in.
It wasn't get a rope, it was like call Delta. But he's Fred, so we're gonna give him you're gonna
work with him. You're gonna make something out of the kid.
Man, it's been a role change for him. You know, going from somebody that's responsibility is, you know, driving a motorcycle to somebody that's working on it. But anyway, so we had Fred helping us out, and Parker's leaving us. We're kind of bummed about that, but he's going brown. He's gonna work for UPS. And he's gonna find out what UPS can do for him. So
where's Parker live?
Yeah, Alabama.
Okay, so he's
we're not only losing the guy
he's
here
driving
at the
a truck, is he?
Yeah, he's going to drive a truck, but we're not only losing the guy here at the track, we're losing the guy at the shop. That's tough for us.
Two guys,
so
it's rough.
Personnel changes are tough, and in situations like this, when we're in the final rounds, people that know their role and can do it well.
It's extremely important.
Anyways, I'm sure Fred will be fine. He's done a good job here for us this weekend. I'm excited about that.
He's got a good attitude.
Yeah, he does. Jerry's bike was really tough to get going this weekend. We had a tough time with his bike, and then we had a bunch of clutch trouble. We made some pretty big changes here with Jerry's bike just throughout this weekend, and it just led in the demise of his race day, you know, on Sunday pretty early.
Right. Who would you like to thank for this win?
I'll tell you what, my family has just hung in there all these years, and they're just awesome people. I'm so grateful for my children and all that they contribute to my life. It's amazing to have supporters like that, and they're always cheering for me, and they're always supporting this career I've chosen. And you know, that's the first thing is the people that nobody ever really gets to see. So that's a big deal to me, and they're just amazing young people, and they keep me in line, and I try and keep them in line, but sometimes it's tough. But Jerry's been awesome, and he's given me this opportunity to do this, and he doesn't put any handcuffs on me. And so sink or swim, it's really it's our responsibility to swim, and so far I think we've done that for him. So it's a good deal, man.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I have to say, Tim.
That'll do.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. U.S. Nationals, huh? That's pretty fun.
It's pretty huge.
Okay.